Hello! Today we're going to start with some questions about Jesus and specifically prayer before moving around the Bible a bit more. Enjoy. Question 1. Jesus said, "It is written, 'My house is the house of prayer,' but you have made it what? Is it a house of prostitutes, a house of praise, a den of thieves, or a place of learning?" And that's a den of thieves from Luke chapter 19. Question 2. Jesus told a parable about the need to pray always and not to faint. Which parable was this? Was it the Good Samaritan, the sower and the seed, the lost coin, or the widow and the unjust judge? And that was from the widow and the unjust judge in Luke chapter 18. Question 3. When Jesus prayed earnestly in the Garden of Gethsemane, was it that angels with flaming swords appeared to the disciples, or his sweat became like great drops of blood? Was there an earthquake, or the curtain in the temple was torn from top to bottom? And as he prayed, his sweat became like great drops of blood in Luke chapter 22. Question 4. What were the disciples doing as Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane? Were they eating, watching, praying, or sleeping? And the disciples were sleeping, according to Mark chapter 14. Question 5. Which disciple asked Jesus, "Lord, teach us to pray"? Was it Peter, John, Thomas, or are we not told? And we don't know who it was, but we know it was mentioned in Luke chapter 11. Question 6. When Jesus said, "But this kind doesn't go out except by prayer and fasting," of whom was he speaking? Was it a deaf and dumb man, a possessed man, a lame man, or a dead man? And that was a possessed man, according to Matthew chapter 17. Question 7. Jesus said that men ought always to pray and not to do what? Was it worry, faint, fear, or sleep? And if you were listening earlier, you will know that that is faint, according to Luke chapter 18. Question 8. Just before Jesus was betrayed, he prayed to the Father that those which had been given to him would be what? Held faithful until the end? Be as one, delivered from death, or taken out of the world. And he prayed that they would be as one in John chapter 17. Question 9. Jesus said, "Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which," what? Is it treat you well, believe in my words, mistreat you, or pray without ceasing? Yeah. And you must pray for those that mistreat you, according to Matthew 5 or Luke chapter 6. Question 10. Jesus said that when we stand praying, we must first what? Is it forgive, cleanse our body, bow our heads, or rebuke the devil? And we must forgive, referenced in Mark chapter 11. Now, going a bit wider in the Bible. Question 11. Which prophet confronted King David about his sin with Bathsheba? Was that Samuel, Nathan, Elijah, or Elisha? And that was Nathan in 2 Samuel chapter 12. Question 12. Which book of the Bible contains the phrase, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity"? Is that in Proverbs, Psalms, Ecclesiastes, or Song of Solomon? And you'll find the vanity in Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Question 13. What was the original language of the New Testament? Was it written in Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, or Latin? And originally it was written in Greek. Question 14. Which apostle is known for doubting Jesus' resurrection until he saw him? And that was Thomas. You'll find the doubting in John chapter 20. Question 15. Which queen visited Solomon to test his wisdom? Was that the Queen of Sheba, Queen Esther, Queen Jezebel, or Queen Candace? And testing Solomon was the Queen of Sheba in 1 Kings chapter 10. Question 16. Who is the wife of Boaz? And the answer is Ruth. You'll find the marriage in Ruth chapter 4. Question 17. In which city were the followers of Jesus first called Christians? Was that Jerusalem, Antioch, Rome, or Corinth? And Christians first appearing in Antioch, according to Acts chapter 11. Question 18. Which king of Israel built the temple in Jerusalem? Was that Saul, David, Solomon, or Rehoboam? And the temple built by Solomon in 1 Kings chapter 6. Question 19. Which New Testament book contains the fruit of the Spirit? Is that Ephesians, Colossians, Philippians, or Galatians? And you'll find the fruit in Galatians chapter 5. And question 20. Who is the father of John the Baptist? That was Zechariah. You'll find him in Luke chapter 1. There you go. That's that for another week. But, God willing, I'll be with you again next week for another installment. In the meantime, keep learning, keep loving. Goodbye, and God bless.